Eddie, an atmosphere, what a first round demolition. Johnny Fisher, he's just something special, something different.
Yeah, I mean, we started out this journey with a young man who'd had 2 amateur fights. I think one of them was in Exeter University, like in a forum or a university for whatever. And, I think it was Sam Jones who said to me, I've got this heavyweight, he's been sparring Joe Joyce. He looks really good. Like,
He was a rugby player then.
Yeah, raw, but great chin, heavy-handed, I think you could have some fun with him. I think he'll sell a load of tickets, blah, blah, blah. And so I said, all right. And so we sort of rolled the dice, I think, with like a 4 or 5 fight deal. And all of a sudden, he was doing his first fight, you remember, was behind closed doors. And I think you're only allowed 40 tickets there. And all of a sudden, we did a 6-rounder, and he did 600, 700 tickets. And then we took him to Sheffield. He did 1,500 tickets for a 6-rounder. Ali Pally, like nearly 2,000 tickets, and tonight 3,000 on his. I mean, he's a ticket selling phenomenon. But I actually truly believe he's a world-class heavyweight prospect. Like, he has all the attributes and fundamentals of what you need, right? Obviously, youth, great. Speed, power, great chin, strong man, smart, learns, getting a top sparring. And, you look at that domestic scene at the moment, sort of below the Furies and the AJs and the Dubois. I'll back him against all those boys, and there's so many great fights to make.
We've been round the world, but that was in there tonight. Yeah. The atmosphere was raucous. It was fresh. Yeah. It's a snowballing effect, isn't it?
Like you've been around. You've seen the same atmospheres all the time, which is amazing, by the way. Josh Warrington in Leeds, Lewis Ritson up in Newcastle, Callum in Liverpool, Bellew, but this is a new one. A new fighter that's doing that. Like, show me the young prospects that are selling out, 6 whatever thousand it was in there tonight, and that kind of energy and atmosphere for a guy that's had 11 fights. Like, it's mental. But I'm getting really excited about the journey. I'm not, if he was just a ticket seller at this stage, he'd be going, oh, how can we not get him beat? But I'm not. I'm thinking about how can we develop him to win the British title, win the European title, and go on and see if he could mix at world level, because he's going to, pretty much filled that anyway, but he'll fill the O2 against Fabio Fraser. Easy. He'll fill it against David Adelaide for the British title. I mean, and someone said something to me tonight, I won't even say their name, but they're a fighter, and he went, do you know who this journey's going to be like? And I hate comparisons, right? Especially against greats. So Henry Cooper. I mean, that's like that last heavyweight that we had that was as popular, obviously Bruno, and AJ to the casual masses. But to the people coming, put their hand in their pockets, pulling out their cash and going, give me a ticket, that's Johnny Fisher. And tonight I was just looking around saying, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. And obviously the result was perfect.
It was never going to go long against Alen Babic, inside 40 seconds. Clever matchmaking?
Yeah, good matchmaking, but a good test at the same time. Like, good enough matchmaking to know if you're not that good, or you are a bit of a hype job, you'll get found out. But if you are a good British, title guy, you're a guy that could have world aspirations, you'll beat Alen Babic. But Babic will sell the fight. He's a tough guy. He's a name that resonates with the British boxing public and media as well. So he was great, and he came to win. I mean, he was absolutely devastated. He truly believed. And Pascal and Dillian and Fabio in the corner, they actually believed they were going to do it. I didn't. I thought it'd be over inside 3 rounds. But I expected a wilder finish rather than such a composed finish. And Babic actually came out trying to box because they were trying to get through 3 or 4 rounds, wear him down. But Johnny was composed and so heavy-handed. As soon as the temple shot landed, it was, you could see it was going to be a quick night.
We love a cult heavyweight, don't we?
Yeah, and like the heavyweight, you can imagine, I don't know, you could imagine His Excellency sitting at home watching that tonight going, who is this young man? I know he's got his favourites, but this guy will be out there soon. But he'll also be in Australia, where remarkably has a massive fan base. And when we go there with Liam Paro in November, Johnny will be on the card. He can box in Manchester on Catchall Prograis. The only danger is that sometimes you have too long a layoff and not enough time in those kind of fights, because sooner or later you will be in with a Fabio or a Dillian White or those kind of guys, and you kind of need to rack up the experience, and that's important too.
Couple of fights at uni for a rugby player. How far can he go?
I mean, if he doesn't win a British and European title at this point, I think he's underperformed in terms of his potential. But who knows?
Fan-wise, how many can you get to?
Like, you know, like, don't forget, that's really, like, it's still just starting. I mean, tonight was a breakthrough night, you know, in terms of, and you know the thing, Adam, you know the industry, you know that would have rated well tonight because people have been talking about it all week, right? All of a sudden, who is this guy? You know, sold 7,000. Oh, you know, his dad, him.
It's a story.
It is, and you know that the Zone are going to phone us up on Monday and go, that did really well, you know. When's he out next? And that's when you know you got more than a ticket seller. So, you know, we got big things coming.
A couple of things I want to ask you about. Eubank for Canelo, thoughts?
Bit of a wild one, isn't it? I mean, you know, listen, if he can land it, the no context Eddie Hearn meme of how'd you fluke that one is going to be rolling out all over social media. But you know, for me, I think a welterweight Conor Benn beats him. I don't think, and Eubank, although he's game, he's smart enough to know he can't compete with Canelo Alvarez at 168. But listen, if the fortune's there, he's taking the fight. So good luck to him if he lands it. But obviously we're pushing our man, Edgar Berlanga, WBA mandatory, big, strong super middleweight that can really punch. Mexico against Puerto Rico. Hopefully we can land that.
Finally, one of my favourite city you're heading to next week. It's Philly. Yeah. It's Boots Ennis, and he's pretty good.
Yeah, we've had a great run. I mean, Bam Estrada last week in Phoenix was unbelievable. This was incredible. And then about 14,000 at the Wells Fargo next week. You know, Bam made his way into the top 5 pound for pound. Ennis, in my opinion, is top 5 pound for pound as well. Good fight against Avanesyan, who will come to fight, but he will find out how good Boots Ennis is next week in Philadelphia.
Thanks, Eddie.
Cheers, mate.